Wanted to review today some layout and markup tools that I've been using in my videos. I had a couple questions on what I use to lay things out with. And the most important thing when you're doing a guitar sometimes is actually laying it out before you cut. So it's that old saying, measure twice and cut once. Some of the most helpful tools will be, some squares, square ruler, so that way you can get, a fine line on a piece. You got a straight edge and you're looking for a 90-degree piece. These rulers are very helpful. I've also got a lot of basic rulers where I can do some layout and measuring. These are very handy, these smaller steel rulers. I keep this one out on my bench full time. I could measure neck pocket depth and everything along those lines. I also have some center rulers, so if I know I've got a line and I want to do a quick measurement, at 1 inch and 1 inch on the other side, I've got that ruler. This is very helpful when you've got a center line on the guitar and you're trying to get 1 inch or 2 inches across. These rulers are very helpful. A protractor or a measuring, angle measuring device will help. I've been using this general one for a long time. What's nice about this one is that you can get an edge and this just stays below the lip and you can draw your angles. This is very helpful when laying on a neck. I bought one of these off of Woodworker's Supply. Not a real big fan of it the way it's set up. It's not as easy to draw a straight line because you get some twisting and turning on this. The next would be a scribing or compass type of tool where you can actually, create circles, or if you've got a specific edge, if you've got an edge here and you're trying to just, scribe what's happening on a curve. Bob Bendato uses these on his archtop books. You want to cut along this line. Probably the most helpful tool to me when cutting necks is this Veritas saddle square. What's great about this square is you can go from one side to the next side, and that line, that 90-degree line, is transferred. So this is great when you're laying on a neck or you're doing some cuts off the body and you want to transfer those cuts perfectly. That's a great tool for that. This other layout tool will help you find centers along a line. So if you're trying to divide this into 4 equal parts or 7 equal parts, you go on, get it set up, turn down the screws, and you can just mark. This again is very helpful with bridges or laying out certain features if you're doing a lot of inlay or anything along those lines. And I've got a bunch of lines that are perfectly drawn. This is helpful, the squares, when you're laying out to cut out rough cut guitar blanks. I use this in all my guitar blanks. I need to cut to 20 inches. Well, this goes up to 25. I can just go through and draw lines, and draw lines with the square. I also have a level. I use a level for straight lines. This is nice to do straight lines across a piece of wood. I know it's nice and level. There's no dings. And then from Veritas, I also bought these offset wheel gauges. And these are very helpful when you're trying to enlarge or make a hole bigger or smaller. You can scribe with these depending on the size. I use this sometimes to help compress guitar bodies, or if I'm doing a cutout, this is very helpful. And the last thing I have is I bought this from Grizzly, and this not only helps with fretwork, but it also helps with layout work. This is a 36-inch straight edge, and it's used in machine shops, but this straight edge is perfectly flat. And what I can do is lay this out on a full guitar and check my straightness of a neck, or I can check angles, or I can check everything with this edge. It's a little bit heavy, so it sits on the guitar body nicely, and I can do a lot of nice fine work with this. I also use this for fretting to see where my high spots are in frets, because this is a precision cut edge. So these are some of the basic layout tools. I always use also mechanical pencils. If I'm doing a lot of dark wood work, I may use a fine-tipped Sharpie. That's another helpful tool. When I'm also feeling lazy, I use a lot of calipers. I've got a couple different sets of calipers laying around the house, and this will help me transfer sizes. So, this is a 1/2 inch. I can lock this down here, and now this won't move, so I can transfer this from piece to piece. If you've got the money, I would buy some digital calipers. This was just an extra spare set that I have laying around. Digital calipers are really helpful when you're doing resawing, because you can do some basic calculations on how many pieces of wood you'll get. But really my favorite is the saddle square. you know, a steel ruler, and an angle measuring device. These are really helpful in laying out a guitar. I would invest in these types of tools as you get going because you'll be able to transfer lines very easily, and they're very helpful in the long term. Lee Valley has a awesome selection of layout and marking tools. That's where I think about half of this tool set comes from. This was from Lee Valley. This is a Fastcap. This is Veritas Lee Valley. All this stuff is great from them. They do a real great job in laying out